Semifinals of Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League.
Tigres and Santos Laguna. Serve is headed down. Goal! Valencia! Tigres a 3-goal lead after one leg in this semifinal.
Saved off the line and it's pummeled home. Hard to see anything but Monterrey moving through now, still with a leg to play. All the way through. Quiñones with Santos to bed. It's 5-0 on aggregate.
Hurtado! Yes! Another for Monterrey. Full time. The final is going to be Rayados and Tigres.
Tigres playing host to Rayados in the first leg of the 2019 final. Another good delivery. It's Sanchez, the ever dangerous center back. 1-0 to Monterrey right before halftime. And not a bad delivery. Here's Pizarro, and it just glances wide. That was a real opportunity to level us at 1. And Monterrey does the job at Estadio Universitario.
Monterrey and Tigres meeting for this second leg. Three-striped shirts. Down goes Pizarro. Oh, this could be the moment for Monterrey. Sanchez right down the middle. 2-goal lead for Monterrey. Gignac! Seconds left. Barbero has it in his hands. Instant classic. Monterrey win the Champions League.
Muy, pero muy buenas noches tengan todos ustedes. Dicen que recordar es vivir y vaya recuerdos. Bienvenidos al sorteo oficial de la Liga de Campeones Concacaf Scotiabank 2020. Yo soy Valeria Marín, tengo el placer de estar aquí, por supuesto, a acompañar esta noche a mi amiga, compañera, colega María del Valle. ¿Cómo estás, Mary?
Muy bien, Valeria, para mí también es un placer y un orgullo estar esta noche con todos ustedes y saludarlos a todos los aficionados que nos ven en vivo desde Canadá hasta Panamá, pasando por todo el Caribe. Es un verdadero placer estar aquí. Esta noche en la Universidad del Claustro de Sor Juana de la Ciudad de México. Este antiguo convento de San Jerónimo, fundado en 1585, fue la casa de Sor Juana Inés de la Cruz por más de 25 años, Valeria.
Increíble monumento y afortunados nosotros de poder estar aquí. Por supuesto, le damos la bienvenida a los entrenadores de los clubes, participantes, presidentes de las ligas y asociaciones miembros de CONCACAF, así como los invitados del mundo del fútbol, es decir, todo el gremio futbolístico está aquí. Todos esperando ansiosamente este sorteo.
Tenemos muchísimas sorpresas esta noche, incluyendo a grandes invitados del fútbol de la región. Pero antes de continuar, déjenme presentarles, por favor, y darle una cordial bienvenida al secretario general de la CONCACAF, el señor Philippe Moggio.
Gracias, María. Gracias, Valeria. Buenas noches. Es un placer estar aquí en México junto a nuestros invitados y a nuestros televidentes en el histórico claustro de Sor Juana para celebrar una edición más de nuestra Liga de Campeones CONCACAF Scotiabank. Es un honor tener aquí presente con nosotros a John de Luisa, vicepresidente de CONCACAF y presidente de la Federación Mexicana de Fútbol, a Enrique Bonilla, presidente de la Liga MEX, así como a muchos de los representantes de los clubes y ligas participantes en este gran torneo. Muchas gracias a todos ustedes por su gran apoyo para que este torneo sea todo un éxito. Y estoy seguro que ya están todos preparados para ver los enfrentamientos de sus clubes favoritos.
Mi querido Philippe, hace un año precisamente nos vimos en Miami para el sorteo de la edición 2019. Que terminó con una tremenda final entre rivales de la misma ciudad. ¿Qué significó esta gran final regia para CONCACAF?
Efectivamente, Valeria, fue una gran final en dos estadios a reventar en Monterrey, donde se enfrentaron dos grandes rivales de la misma ciudad. Y realmente esta final fue algo que refleja el crecimiento que existe constante de este torneo y que corona al mejor club de la región.
Philippe, la FIFA anunció que el Mundial de Clubes se va a expandir a 24. ¿Cómo afecta esto o cómo ayuda esto a la CONCACAF?
Efectivamente, para CONCACAF esto es una oportunidad importante porque incrementa los números de clubes participando y tendremos otra gran oportunidad para demostrar al mundo lo que está creciendo el fútbol en nuestra región. En un futuro próximo anunciaremos cuál será el mecanismo exacto de clasificación, pero te puedo adelantar que el camino hacia el Mundial de Clubes es y seguirá siendo a través de nuestra Liga de Campeones Concacaf Scotiabank.
Definitivamente, Philip, estos cambios van a fortalecer más al fútbol de CONCACAF y, por supuesto, de cara al Mundial de Clubes que arranca en un par de días. Feliz Navidad, por cierto. Les deseamos todo el éxito al equipo participante, la mejor de la suerte al equipo de Rayados de Monterrey, quienes nos van a estar representando.
Estoy seguro que Monterrey representará con orgullo a México, a Liga MEX y definitivamente a CONCACAF. Y ya para despedirme, María y Valeria, ¿qué les parece si le vemos un video mostrando lo que fue esta gran final hace unos pocos meses aquí en Monterrey?
Perfecto, Philip, muchísimas gracias. Vamos a verlo.
Tigres Monterrey, it's the final we all dreamed of, the one we hoped for, it's the one we got.
Maria, it really was spectacular what we witnessed last year with the first International Clásico Regio, a final that ended with the trophy held by Rayados. The same trophy is the one that tonight, representing the Rayados from Monterrey, will be returned by a true champion, a footballer who left his mark in Mexican soccer. Let's welcome El Chelito Delgado. Chelito, thanks for being here with us. Thank you, Maria. It's an honor to be with you all and to bring back the trophy so that you can enjoy. Chelito, you had the honor of winning the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League in 2012 and 2013. What did that represent to you? For me, it was something special. It was important for me to win in Mexico. The team gave their all in both tournaments. It was a great sense of pride, and I was very happy to be able to win it. I'm very thankful with all the football fans in Mexico. Chelito, it's an honor to have you here. You are one of the greatest goal scorers in the club or World Cup, just behind Cristiano Ronaldo and Gareth Bale. Would you give any advice to the Rayados squad? First off, they have to enjoy it. It's a unique opportunity. They have to show the world that Monterrey has talent, as well as Mexico in the entire region. It was great to be a goal scorer in the Club World Cup. I'm very happy about that. And hopefully I can stay on that list. You're next to Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez. Congratulations. Please, let's give another round of applause to Chalito Delgado. Valeria, before presenting our next guest, what do you think if we review the list of the 16 clubs that will participate in the competition? We'll start with representatives from North America, América, Tigres, León and Cruz Azul. From United States, Atlanta United FC, Los Angeles FC, New York City FC, and Seattle Sounders. From Canada, Montreal Impact. Now we go to Central America. From Costa Rica, Asociación Deportiva San Carlos, and Deportivo Saprissa, a team we all know, and that just a few weeks ago were crowned Scotiabank Concacaf League champions. From El Salvador, Alianza. From Guatemala, Comunicaciones. From Honduras, Olimpia and Motagua. And last but not least, from the Caribbean, Portmore United from Jamaica. It's time to introduce our special guests that will be helping us with tonight's draw. The first one has become a worldwide sensation in recent years. He has made millions of people follow him through social media, not only because of his vast knowledge of football, but also because of the uniqueness of the statistical data that he posts every day. I follow him, but for the first time tonight, I'll know his face. There's only one name, a common name for stats and football in CONCACAF. Please welcome Alexis Tamayo, better known as Mr. Chip.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Buenas noches a todos.
Hi, good night, everybody. It's great to be with you tonight. I'm very excited to be part of this great event. Very excited to be part of this tournament that started as the Copa Campeones of CONCACAF. It all started in El Salvador with a match between Águila and Comunicaciones in 1980. And there it was Guillermo Palomo who scored the first goal in the history of this tournament. I invite you to think about a competition that in 54 editions can find 27 different champions from countries from all over the region. It's an honor for me to be here in front of this beautiful trophy. Well, now you know why he's a very special guest. Thank you for joining us.
Bueno, mi querido Mr. Chip, nos vas a ayudar a presentar, muy bonita, ¿verdad?
Preciosa.
Nos vas a ayudar
Well, Mr. Chip, you're going to help us introduce to of the former football players that will help us with the draw. Let's welcome two legends, not only from CONCACAF, but from the entire world. The first one is one of the all-time champions. And for that, you have to win Copa Libertadores and Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. The first one, the first player was able to win both tournaments. It's Clever Boas, a teammate of one of our guests. He was able to win with Nacional from Porto Alegre. And after that, Neri Cardoso. And last year, Marcelo Barovero, that previously won a Copa Libertadores and the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. And now, a player that won the three biggest club championships all over the world. One of the few players is Cristian Chaco Jimenez. We welcome Cristian Jimenez, who comes accompanied by Diego Jimenez. Good evening, everyone. I'm used to this. I'm no longer a football player, so I'm used to this, and I'm very thankful for the invitation. We have another special guest, a legend as well. Let's play a game. There's a recent study from FIFA in which the number of footballers with a license to practice football in the history, we will have millions of footballers. From those, only a few had the honor to play at least 1 minute in a World Cup. 5,115 players ever play at least 1 minute in the World Cup. Now the number for 2 World Cups, the number is 1,380. Now if we go back to 3 World Cups, 248 players. And 4 World Cups, just 37 players in the history of football. From the millions of players around the history of the sport, only 37 played 4 World Cups. And one of them, it's a legend in CONCACAF. How many players do you think have played 6 Gold Cups? 100? Just 14. And how many players have won the Gold Cup 4 times? Just 3 of them. And just one of them is in all of those groups we mentioned before. And that's CONCACAF's legend, Don Marcus Beasley. The Marcos Beasley is joined by Nina Diaz, a great fan of the sport, and it's great to have the feature as well of the sport on the stage.
Bueno, aquí ya tenemos la línea completa. ¿Estamos de acuerdo? The Marcus, Mary, Mr. Chip, Chaco, es un placer como siempre.
It's great to have you all here with us.
Quisiera preguntarte a ti, Chaco, aprovechando que estás aquí con nosotros, ya vimos
I wanted to ask you,
el currículum,
Chaco,
por si quieres poner datos que te acaba de dar Mr. Chip. Estuviste, eres un gran
as a
conocedor
player,
del fútbol mexicano. Estuviste en 2 equipos jugando que van a participar.
you won international titles, playing with Cruz Azul and Pachuca, 2 teams participating this year. Who do you see as a favorite to win in 2020?
Sí, sí, ya vi.
Me están mirando muy serio. Perdón, Miguel. Pero bueno, la sangre tira. Y tuve mucho tiempo en Cruz Azul.
All 3 of those teams are great teams. They
Más anhelo es que vuelva a ganar la
have
CONCACAF, entonces
represented
son 2 equipos que van a tener que obstáculos muy
Mexico well,
difíciles,
and
pero
they are
obviamente
teams
que
that are going to have
quiero
to
por
go
Cruz Azul.
through
a
a tough draw,
Así es.
but I'm hoping Cruz Azul is able to do it again.
meter presión tampoco, porque-
I don't want to put them
Perdón, Siboldi, pero bueno,
any
lo tengo
extra
que decir,
pressure.
tengo un hijo ahí también,
Sorry, Siboldi,
pero que gane el mejor. Pero me quedo con Cruz Azul.
but let the best win, and I hope for Cruz Azul to win once again.
Pero ahí están las palabras de Chaco, que sin lugar a dudas predicaste con el ejemplo y tiene la verdad que un futuro prometedor.
Those are the
porque
thoughts
tiene un gran
from
ejemplo como tú
Chaco.
fuiste en el fútbol, tanto mexicano
No
como
doubt a great
internacional.
example
Así que muchísimas gracias, Chaco.
For the future of football. And
Bueno, en unos minutos los equipos ya van a conocer
In
a
just,
su primer rival para los octavos
a
de
few minutes,
final. Pero antes, mi querida Mary,
the teams will know their opponent for the round of 16.
Marcos, has tenido una larga carrera, has participado
Marcus, in
en
your
torneos
career,
superimportantes,
you played at the
como la
highest level,
CONCACAF, Liga
including
de Campeones, pero también como la
the UEFA Champions
¿Qué
League.
podrías decirle o contarles de cómo te sentiste
Tell us a
cuando
little
estuviste
bit
y cuando fuiste parte de estos certámenes?
about the importance of these tournaments.
María, los partidos internacionales son muy diferentes.
International tournaments are played differently.
Pero, aquí que ellas tienen que ir un poco más rápido. Más rápido. Se juegan, sí. Aquí es donde los equipos
This
grandes
is
se crecen
where
y
the
demuestran
big
al
teams
mundo de
meet.
que están
They
hechos.
grow and show the world
Es los partidos que
what they're made of.
puedes disfrutar ante equipos de la Liga MX.
In a
Puedes ver
few
la rivalidad y
games
hace
I
que
could
ya
play
vaya
against
MLS
teams
por
Liga
levantar
MX, I was
ese
able to experience
Estoy seguro
the
de
rivalry
que
and
el
the
actual
hunger in
campeón de
MLS for raising the
MLS
trophy. I'm
así
sure the
como
current MLS
Atlanta,
champions
LAFC,
Seattle, as
NYC,
well as
NYCFC y Montreal
Atlanta, LAFC,
se
New York City
prepararon
FC, and
y
Montreal
en la mejor manera para
will
poder competir ante cualquier rival.
prepare in the best way to
Muchísimas
compete.
gracias, esperamos que así sea. ¿Tú crees que
Thank
será
you, the
este
Marcus.
certamen en donde algún equipo de la MLS levante por fin el
Do you think this is
Claro que sí.
the year for an
Sí,
MLS
son
team to
representantes
win
de MLS.
the championship?
Que un
I think it's possible,
de ellos va a ganar.
finalmente?
and I hope one of the MLS teams is finally able to raise the trophy.
Bueno, les quiero agradecer tanto a Diego y a Nina por habernos acompañado, como lo repito.
I would
sin
like
lugar a
to
dudas, ellos forman
thank
parte de las
Diego
futuras
and Nina.
estrellas de la
Like I
región,
mentioned
así que
before, they
vamos a
are part of
despedirnos
the
con un fuerte aplauso.
future stars of our region. Let's
Por
give them a
supuesto,
hand.
un reconocimiento especial a uno de los socios comerciales más importantes de la Confederación,
And,
Scotiabank, y a
of
su
course, we would like to
vicepresidente ejecutivo y gerente
recognize
general en México,
Scotiabank,
Adrián Otero Rosiles, que nos acompaña el día de hoy. Un fuerte aplauso.
Mr. Adrián Otero,
Sin lugar
CEO
a
of
dudas,
Scotiabank.
el apoyo de Scotiabank ha jugado un papel importantísimo en
Without
el
their
crecimiento
support,
de nuestras competencias de clubes,
with their
desde
support,
los niveles juveniles, lo estamos viendo, a los
we have
profesionales
seen
en la
a
región
growth
de CONCACAF.
throughout the region.
Así es, Valeria, despidamos con un gran aplauso ya a Nina y a Diego que salieron y continuamos con el evento.
Correcto, ha llegado el momento ahora sí que todos habíamos estado esperando.
The
Y
moment
para
we all
comenzar
have been
con el
waiting
sorteo,
for is
por favor,
finally here.
recibamos a
To start the
Carlos
draw, let's
Fernández, que es
welcome
director de competencias
Carlos
de
Fernandez, head
CONCACAF.
of competitions in CONCACAF.
Buenas noches a todos.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here with you tonight for this important draw. This is a tournament, very important tournament, and plays a spot in the next Club World Cup. To know in detail the procedure of the draw, let's see the following video.
El sorteo de la Liga de Campeones Concacaf Scotiabank 2020 se llevará a cabo con 4 bombos, 2 bombos de clubes y 2 bombos de posiciones. Los 2 bombos de clubes contienen cada uno 8 nombres de los 16 clubes.
We will find 16 clubs divided in pots 1 and 2 and 16 positions divided as well in pots A and B based on the club ranking for CONCACAF that ranks the team according to their performance in international competition. They have been divided in 2 pots. Pot 1, teams 1 through 8, and pot 2, teams from 9 to 16. The positions for both pots: pot A, positions A1 through A8, and in pot B, positions B1 through B8. The draw will start with a team from pot 1 and then position according to the result of the draw in pot A. The same procedure will continue with pots 2 and B. Teams from the same country cannot face each other. The draw will also determine the order of the games in the quarterfinal. The teams from pot 1 will play the second leg at home. The winners of the round of 16 will then play at home the games in the quarterfinal. Throughout the tournament, in the semifinals and the final, according to the performance, will be determined who plays the second leg at home. And that will be the procedure for the 2020 Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League draw.
Revisemos rápidamente los bombos que utilizaremos para este sorteo. En el bombo 1 están los 8 equipos que cuentan con las mejores posiciones en el ranking de clubes.
In pot 1, we will find the teams with the best ranked teams: Atlanta United, Club America, Cruz Azul, LAFC, Montreal Impact, New York City, Seattle Sounders, and Tigres. In pot 2, we'll find Alianza, San Carlos, Comunicaciones, Saprissa, Motagua, and Portmore United. It's worth noting that according to the rules of the competition, in which teams from the same country cannot face each other, in case Club León is drawn next to a Liga MX team, we will have to draw a second club of pot 2 to take this position. Now that we know the rules, Chaco, Damarcos, are we ready? Let's get started. Chaco, let's start with you. The first team coming out is Cruz Azul.
Empezamos agresivos,
14 participaciones en la Copa de Campeones y la Liga de Campeones, la última en la temporada 2014-2015.
For Cruz Azul,
que más finales ha jugado en la historia de la competición.
Historic team
y el único en la historia del torneo
in the region,
título en sus 3 primeras participaciones en 1960, en 1970,
qualified as the Apertura 2018 runner-up and champions in 2014. Now we go with the Marcus for Cruz Azul position in the bracket. It's A3. Now we go back to Chaco Jimenez. This is the second club coming out of Pot 1.
Montreal Impact.
Montreal Impact. It's the Canadian representative, the coach Thierry Henry, participating for the second time, winner of the Canadian Club Championship and runner-up in 2015. It's the first Canadian team that was able to eliminate a team from Liga MX. Now we'll find out the position in the bracket for Montreal Impact. It's going to be A8.
Bueno, Chaco, vuelvo contigo. Si nos ayudas, si nos haces el honor ahí de el tercer club.
The third team coming out of Pot 1 is going to be
Club América.
Club América. For Club América, Miguel Herrera is coach. Seven-time champion, qualified as the Apertura 2018 champions, participated for the fifth time in the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League era, and won the title for the last time in 2016. Very successful team throughout the CONCACAF region. Now we'll know the position in the bracket for Club América. It's going to be A2.
Bueno, Chaco, vuelvo entonces contigo. Vamos a revolver ahí un poco las esferas.
Now we move on to the fourth team coming out of Pot 1.
New York City Football Club.
It's going to be New York City FC, participating for the first time in the competition, founded in May of 2013, and qualified to the tournament as the Eastern Conference champion. As a debutant, they would like to replicate what Real Salt Lake was able to do in 2011, making it all the way to the final. The position for New York City is going to be A6. We have four teams left in Pot 1. Who is it going to be?
Tigres.
It is Tigres. For Tigres, ninth time participating. One of the most successful teams in the Liga MX, a runner-up in 2019. The head coach is Tuca Ferretti, and qualified to the tournament as the 2019 Clausura champions. And Tigres will be placed in A5.
Chaco, las últimas tres esferas. Tres clubes de la MLS.
Coming out of pot 1 should be an MLS team, and it's going to be LAFC, qualified as the Supporters Shield champion, participating just like New York City FC for the first time. The head coach is Bob Bradley for LAFC, and we all know Carlos Vela is going to be leading the way for LAFC in the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. Now we'll find out the position for LAFC. It's going to be A4.
Chacos, por favor, las últimas dos esferas.
Atlanta United and Seattle Sounders are left in pot 1, and they will be either facing A1 or A7. It's going to be Atlanta United first. For Atlanta United, they qualified as the U.S. Open Cup champions, second consecutive performance, made it all the way to the quarterfinals in 2019. And the head coach is Frank de Boer. It's only their third year as a professional club, very successful start, and we'll see where Atlanta United is placed. It's either A1 or A7. It's going to be A1 for Frank de Boer's team. Now the last team in pot 1 should be Seattle Sounders. And there it is. It's Seattle Sounders, the 2019 MLS Cup champions, 6th appearance, made it to the semifinals in 2013. The coach is Brian Schmetzer. One of the teams that with a very successful record in MLS. And just to confirm, Seattle should be placed in A7.
Claro que sí. La posición A7 entonces, y con eso finalizamos tanto el bombo 1 como el bombo A.
Now we're done with pot 1 and pot A. And here comes the good part with the pairings. Looking into the first teams from pot 2. Let's see who the first team coming out of pot 2 is. Chaco Jimenez reveals now. And it's going to be Motagua. For Motagua, the Scotiabank Concacaf League runner-up, 5th appearance. Diego Vasquez is the coach, the most successful coach in the history of the team. Made it to the round of 16 in 2018, back-to-back finalist for Motagua in the Scotiabank Concacaf League. We'll see who Motagua is going to face in the round of 16 of the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. And it's a B1, so Motagua will be facing Atlanta United. Honduran teams haven't been able to eliminate MLS teams in the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League, but Motagua, with lots of experience throughout the years, a very successful team in Honduras. So a very interesting matchup. The second team coming out of pot 2. It's going to be Portmore United from Jamaica, the Caribbean representative for Portmore United, qualified as the Caribbean Club Championship champions. First appearance for Portmore United. Shamar Thomas, the coach, a 7-time winner of the Jamaican National Premier League. So, Portmore United, a team that is used to winning. We'll see who they're going to face in the round of 16. And it's B3, so they will travel to Mexico to face Cruz Azul. Teams from Jamaica and Mexico face each other back in 2008. So a great opportunity for Portmore United to travel to Mexico and face one of the Mexican giants in Cruz Azul.
Olimpia.
The third team coming out of Pot 2 is Olimpia. For Olimpia, one of the historic teams in CONCACAF, qualified from the Scotiabank Concacaf League, 11th appearance. The last time they participated in 2018. They just won the 31st title just over 24 hours ago. They made it all the way to the quarterfinals in 2015. Their coach is Pedro Troglio, international Argentine. Now we'll see who Olimpia will face in the round of 16. So it's Seattle Sounders for Olimpia. So Honduran teams, Motagua and Olimpia, will be facing MLS competition. Motagua will be facing Atlanta United and Olimpia will be facing Seattle Sounders. It's not going to be the first time they face each other in CONCACAF competition. 5 teams left in Pot 2. And it's Saprissa. For Saprissa, qualified from CONCACAF League as well. They are the current CONCACAF League champions, their 9th appearance in the tournament. Made it all the way to the semifinals in 2011. And it's the last team to win in CONCACAF and the first one to play in the Club World Cup. So for Saprissa, a great sense of responsibility in the first round to move on after a great performance in the Scotiabank Concacaf League. Saprissa will be placed in position B8, and they will be facing the Canadian representative in Montreal Impact. A great matchup, and it's going to be the first opportunity for Saprissa to face an MLS rival. This time as well, of course, representing Canada is Montreal Impact. We have 4 teams left in Pot 2. And it's Comunicaciones from Guatemala. It's the 6th appearance for Comunicaciones. They participated for the last time in 2016. That year they were able to get it all the way to the quarterfinals. So they're making a comeback this year to the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. Is Comunicaciones. Now we'll see who Comunicaciones is going to face. Tigres, New York City FC, Club America, or LAFC. It's going to be Club América.
Hay un precedente entre estos dos equipos. En la Liga de Campeones se enfrentaron
So they faced each other in the group stage in 2014. So for Comunicaciones, not an easy matchup facing one of the Mexican giants, and just a great overall record for América in the competition. We have 3 more teams left in Pot 2. It's Alianza from El Salvador, 4th appearance. Didn't get past the round of 16 in 2019. They're coached by Wilson Gutierrez, the Colombian coach, and qualified to the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League through the Scotiabank Concacaf League. One of the all-time representatives for Salvadorian football is Alianza, and they could face MLS opposition in LAFC and New York City FC, or Tigres. And it's B5, so Alianza, they will travel to Monterrey to face Tigres. So it's not an easy matchup for Alianza, but they have the opportunity to compete at the highest level in CONCACAF, facing Tigres. We have 2 teams left. It's San Carlos or Club León. It's going to be San Carlos participating for the first time. The team is coached by Luis Marin, an international for the Costa Rican national team. This is the first appearance for San Carlos, the Toros del Norte. They won the Clausura 2019. Just an overall great story for Central American football is Asociación Deportiva San Carlos. The rival for San Carlos would be either LAFC or New York City FC. And it's B6, so they will travel to New York. San Carlos, they will try to follow the steps from Independiente last year, was able to move past an MLS team. Independiente as well, with playing in their first year in 2019. Now San Carlos, they have a great chance in 2020. And the last team coming out of Pot 2, it's Club León, which works perfectly because they cannot face a Liga MX team, and the lone spot available is B4 for León, the 2019 Clausura runner-up. That's how they qualified. This is the second appearance. In 2015, they couldn't get past the group stage, and they should be facing LAFC. There it is. It's B4. 31 matchups throughout the years between MLS and Liga MX. So there we have it. Before we move on from the round of 16, we're going to see a matchup between MLS and Liga MX, between LAFC and Club León. Marcus Chaco, with that, we're done with the draw. Thanks for your help.
Valeria, María y Alexis,
Valeria, Maria, and Alexis, I leave you to recap the round of 16 matchups. Thank you, Carlos, Christian, and the Marcus. There you have it, the matchups for the round of 16 of the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. Let's take a quick look at the pairings. From one side of the bracket, Atlanta United Motagua, América Comunicaciones, Cruz Azul Portmore United, LAFC Club León. On the other side of the bracket, it's Tigres Alianza, New York City FC San Carlos, Seattle Sounders Olimpia, and Montreal Impact Saprissa. Tell us a little bit, what can we expect from the round of 16? I've seen matchups 3 and 4. That's the only way we can have two teams from League MX face each other in the next round. And Seattle, Olimpia, Montreal, or Saprissa, who are the teams with participated the most in the tournament. One of them will make it all the way to the semifinals. You think this is the year for an MLS team to make it to the final? Well, we have two, Seattle, Montreal, and New York City will face a team participating for the first time. And LAFC is, of course, a very good team. There's no doubt we're going to have good matches throughout the year. With that, thank you, everyone, for following the draw. We hope for a great tournament in the Scotiabank Concacaf Champions League. For the teams, coaches, and players, the best of luck in the tournament that will start in February next year. And please remember that you are going to be able to see the tournament in 2DN in the United States, Fox Sports, and ESPN. Thank you, and have a great night.